All right, this video is for the guards. I'm going to go through our run plays and talk about each guard. We will watch some pass plays just to look at our technique for pass protection, and then that'll be the end of the video. So first play, we'll look at truck. Now, the next time that we play a 30 front or a three down like Owatonna, it's doing that. Next time we play a 30 front for truck, we will not do it where we will block the four technique with the guard. From now on, if we play a three down, you're going to do your normal rule, which is if you had a three technique, a guy lined up in the gap, you would scoop him. Okay. Your rule is going to be what it normally is, gap on to cut off. Okay. We'll just go back to that and we're going to block it normal like that because RY should be blocking down on this. Okay. I know we'll run it the other way. So let's talk about that. Okay. RY will block down on the four technique always, even if he slants inside. Um, so he will be taken care of from now on. So our guards, your rule will be gap on to cut off. Okay. And you will have the option to pull if it's open against a 30 front. Okay. This week we won't have that opportunity against Two Rivers, but I'm just letting you know this will be the only week where you have to reach this four against a 30 front. Okay. From now on, it's going to be taken care of by our Y. All right. So your rule will go back to gap on cutoff when we run truck. Okay. So I just wanted to talk about that real quick. So here we will run truck right. So I know we are scooping the guard here, or scooping the four technique. So Burke, let's watch that. That is a tough thing. So it's hard to shuffle scoop when you're going so far. So if you got to reach someone that's really far away, it's better to just turn and run. Okay, just turn and run just like Ife. If you watch Ife here, he turns and runs to get there. I would like to see him stay here on this outside shoulder and not let this guy beat him over the top, which he doesn't, which is good. Okay, but we just need to turn and run. So same thing here. Burke, we need to try to turn and run to try to cut that guy off more. And that's it. Turn and run. Don't shuffle, scoop against a forefront. Next time, though, our Y will block down and that guy will be taken care of. Okay. So turn and run when you have to block someone far away, or like when you're scooping the nose. Turn and run. See, Burke, you do it here just fine. That's what we should do with the four as well. Turn and run. Okay. Cut that guy off. That's exactly what we should do with the four as well. See here, the Y finally blocks down, and we got two guys blocking one guy. This is why we're not going to do this anymore. The Y will always block down on the forward technique, and you will have the option. Your rule will be gap on to cut off, or you could pull as well if it's available. Okay, if there's no one threatening your outside gap. Okay, so I think that's enough of truck there. I think we understand that. Power. All right, this is the big thing that I want to talk about and that we need to get better at as guards, okay, is our double team up to backer, especially Ife. So Ife, I think you took it to heart when I said how big the nose guards were, and you really wanted to show me how hard you can move these guys and move them over, and you do a great job of that. Only two things. You turn and run, and so it makes it impossible for you to get off on the linebacker. I think this one, you get a piece of them. You do get in front of this one, which is great. And so it works out decently for us. Okay, but we are turning and running. You could be lower on the hip. Trust me, it makes a big difference. Okay, this matter of whatever this is, 8 inches or whatever, getting down on the hip, that's going to make a world of difference if you get that shoulder down on that hip. I do love how you have your eyes on your linebacker. That's fantastic. Okay, but then when you get to him, you got to run your feet. You kind of have to reset your hips. So when you get to the linebacker, you got to drop back down and then re-roll your hips into the linebacker so we don't get pressed back into the hole. Okay. Burke, watching you skip pull. Now, here's the thing, guys. We got to know if we are running it to a tight end, the hole is going to be wider. So we need to get a little bit deeper on our skip pull. And I know there's this big gap, this big hole here, but we need to think that this is going to be collapsed, hopefully, by our tackle and tight end. So if we get a little bit more depth, we have more clarity on where the hole is going to be. Okay, so this is collapsing down. So we should be getting outside the tackle when we are running power to a tight end. When we are running power to a tight end, we need to get outside the tackle. That is the learning point right there. When we run power to a tight end, we need to get outside the tackle. That is the learning point. Okay. Okay, run power again here. Okay, Burke, watching you. Okay, good job down on the hip. You got hand on the hip. That's excellent. Okay, we're moving the guy. Does Molitor get off on the linebacker here? Ooh, he does. Nice. Good. That's a good combo. That's what I love to see. Okay, Ife watching here. See, we do the same thing. We run power to a tight end. We have to get outside the tackle. Here's why. That's the linebacker we should be blocking right there. So we need to get more depth so we can see the hole. We should be anticipating that we're getting movement. Also, it'll help if we got more depth, if we're giving up penetration on the front side, and then we can run into the hole and get a block. Okay, that's the learning point with power. Hopefully that makes sense. Counter. So we can watch our kickouts and our double team still. There's no end zone. There's end zone. Okay, counter to the left here. So here we're going to counter to the left, gap on double here. So we're caging to the backside backer. We're kicking out. Okay, I don't know what Mosman called here. I think he should have said 5-5-5 and ripped up. He might have said 7-7 because he's blocking the four technique, but I don't know because we messed this up before. But my assumption is that he made a seven call because he blocks here, and you should be going outside this four technique. Remember, we do not kick out a four technique on counter. It is a five or wider. So you should be getting outside this. You literally block Mosman off of his block. Okay. Uh, we can't do that. We got to try to get around it, and we're kicking out first guy outside. I don't know if you thought the guy was this end, but I don't think that was communicated. At least I hope not. Okay? Because that end falls in and then Kyan has to block him. Yeah. Okay, Ife watching your double team. Okay, you run and you could be lower on the hip. It's not bad. You're underneath them, but it could be better. Okay, but I think since you're running and we're not shuffling down, that we're not in a good position to get off onto the linebacker. Okay, we're not in a great position to go block that guy. So I'd love to see us shuffle down. We can be patient and let him flow over the top. Okay, you shuffle down, punch that hip, stay on it and stay square. Let that guy flow, and then we can turn and block this guy out. Okay, in a better position. Shuffle down, stay square on the double team. Okay, here's another one. This is against their second string. Okay, once again, we're running down here, Ife. Okay, we do good up to the linebacker there. That's good. But once again, you are lower, getting lower on the hips, so that's better. And look how he gets lifted up when you're low. Watch, both feet leave the ground because you're punching low on the hip. That's fantastic. Okay, that's how that should be. Okay, that's good. That's good. Okay, and getting up to the linebacker. I'd love to see a shuffle though. Love your pad level. Love how aggressive you're getting off the ball, though. Those things are great. Just a little bit on the technique. Okay, next play here. See, this is one reason, though. See, Ife, this is where it gets you in trouble. Okay, we wound up here. If you know that you're stepping down on a double team, preload your weight on this foot. You see how you kind of rock and then you go? If you know you're going to step down, preload this foot with your weight so then you can just press off it as soon as the ball is snapped. Okay, that way you don't have to do that little rocking movement. But if you were shuffling down here and not turning and running, okay, and your base was underneath you, you'd be able to block that linebacker. Okay, shuffle down, don't run. That way you can be a two-way player and go get this guy. Okay, so I mean, yes, the play side backer didn't get blocked either, but also we could have helped out with that by shuffling down. That's why I want you to shuffle. I want you to be able to be adaptable and get off to the second level and still be powerful on the double team. Once again, Ife, I love the how hard you're driving off. I love that you're down on the hip. We're getting movement, but can you get off to the linebacker? Okay, that's great that you drove him all the way over here, but look who's making the tackle in the hole. Your linebacker that you should be getting up to. Okay. So I want us to get to the next part of the progression where we're doing an excellent job bringing great force on the hips, shuffling down. You can still do that by staying square, but then we're getting up to the linebacker so we can go get a touchdown. That's what I want to have happen. Okay. We don't need to be all the way over here. That's not helping. Okay. Punch that hip right there where it disappears. See, to me, that has disappeared. Okay. And then you can work here and just cut this guy off and wall him off. But I don't think we can because we're so full head of steam getting into this guy that we're too out of control to get that done. Okay. I'm not even talking about, sorry, I didn't even talk about the kick out. That's my fault. I'm too busy talking about the double team. Burke, this is a great job getting on the hip. Okay. Staying tight, flat back, dropping low, getting down on him, driving him. I think you even pancake him. That's a fantastic job. Ooh, baby. Yes, sir. Give me some maple syrup. That's fantastic. I love that, Burke. That's how you kick somebody out right there. That's great. That makes me happy. Jet switch. Okay, let's talk about jet switch. This is where we are pulling and the tackle is blocking the four. Okay, we're running jet to the right. Okay. So when we get out here, we skip and then we run as fast as we possibly can. Okay, the X or the Y is going to block down on this guy. We're mainly going for this play side linebacker. We are in a foot race with this guy. We don't need to worry about him because he's blocking down. We're in a foot race with him. Okay, so you skip, and then run. Then run, 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 run. I think you thought you had to block him, which you don't. Okay, you're pretty much going for the inside backer. That's who we're going for there. Ife and your backside, you do a nice job scooping the nose. Fantastic. Next one. Okay, here we don't make a switch call. Okay, which I mean, it still works, but once again, it's just hard to get this guy, which you do, which is good. That's excellent. It's just Trent doesn't look inside. Trent's got to look inside for that backer. Okay, good job getting to that guy. Once again, it might be easier, Burke, since he's so wide, as if you turn and run. Turn and run. Okay. Da da da. Let's watch our pass protection here. And this one's wonky. Okay, here we go. So here we should have had a fan call, so we should be stepping out here. I don't know if they made it off, but Burke, what you do here is good. You're working, you got double stop sign. You're looking for work. That's good. Okay, so Ife here, if you make this off call, this guy is yours. So you got to step inside and he cannot beat you to the inside. He is your guy. He is your guy. You need to be picking that guy up. Mosman will pick this guy up, and then he's coming off the edge. If you make an off call, which you do, okay, you should point that direction because you are telling the running back where to go. You should be pointing out so the running back knows that he needs to be running to the outside there. Okay, so you need to be inside out on this linebacker that's blitzing. He's your guy. He is your guy. What in the world is going on with this camera? Burke, I like how you step out there. Okay, Ife is kind of hard to tell. Same thing, Ife looking for work. Good job. Okay, here we got a fan call. Good job, Burke, getting out there, staying square. Okay, get out there. Once he gets level with you, then you turn and drive him. That's great. Okay, just keep your feet. I know someone runs into the back of you. All right. Here you step out for the fan, but then you see that backer blitz and you step back inside because he's your guy. That's how that should be. That's very nice. Good job. And then our A back will get the other guy. Our quarterback steps up in the pocket and then hopefully next time doesn't throw a pick. We look good, guys. Okay, I was impressed with our pass protection. Our technique can get better, but you guys were very smart in picking up blitzes, and I'm very proud of you for that. We'll just keep on getting better.